Hello and good morning, Soul. How are you?
Good, how are you? Good morning. Or good
Good morning. Oh,
afternoon.
good afternoon now. The day's flying by. I know I was freezing earlier, so hopefully it doesn't freeze now, or else I'll just shut off my camera. But we've been having a great talk, and I would love for us to continue that. So if you don't mind, Soul, tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Yeah, so I have been in a customer facing role ever since high school. I started at Chick-fil-A. I became a manager there. And then I worked at PwC, in which I worked for the wealth management team. So I worked with a lot of clients there as well. And now I am with Hammond Real Estate, who I help my broker. And I deal with a lot of client facing stuff there too, as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. And thank you for that introduction. I have your resume as well, and I can see that just like you said, you've been in customer service or front-facing roles for over the last 10 years. You've worked with some exciting companies such as PwC, and then, most recently working as an executive assistant with Hammond Real Estate. So if you don't mind, I want to touch base a little bit more on your administrative skill set. So tell me a little bit about what your day-to-day looked like over at Hammond Real Estate.
So every day is different, especially when you are dealing with some clients. There are days where I deal with clients, there are days where I don't. I do a lot of scheduling. I do a lot of communication and calls, a lot of organizing for her. She is a very busy person, so I am that support system that she has, and I love that. I love being a support system. I love being the go-to person. It's not just getting coffee. It's more of like making sure people are paying their rent, communicating, making sure her open houses go well, any type of, property that she has, I check in with that as well. So it is very different, but a lot of my job is scheduling, working with the calendar, making phone calls, just making sure everything is in system. I have a big file system for her, very important. She has a lot of property. They own a lot of things. So I just make sure everything is set and good and organized for them.
Beautiful. So from what I can hear, it sounds like your day-to-day is fairly busy and you have a busy schedule, which is always good, right? And I think that working in an environment to where you have a lot on your plate, it sets you up for success in all of your other positions. That, what we call that high volume, fast-paced environment, you can carry that with you anywhere you go. So it's good that you got that exposure. And I know that you were mentioning before we started actually recording here how you were able to establish such a great relationship and partnership with them. So tell me about that. How did that go about?
Yeah, so actually my dad's in the construction business. She is a broker. So that kind of connected there. I started working for her. She met my dad. Then she met my mom. And we kind of all just built a relationship there. She loves my family. She loves me. They love me because her husband is kind of in the business as well. He's not a broker, but he kind of manages a little bit of the money as well. So he does some of the investment that I take care of as well. So yeah, we just formed such a big trust. She formed such a big trust with me, with my dad, who helps her, with some houses that she has that need anything construction wise done. And then with my mom, they just kind of like, it's just girl talk. They just formed a relationship. So it was, yeah, they're very close to my heart. Sometimes I call her, when out of the work environment, I call her Mammy, or she wants me to call her like grandma, because they're older. And yeah, we just formed that really tight relationship, and they'll always be so close to me, so close to my heart.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with me. It was super insightful. And I wanted you to share that because it really shows how you were able to, one, go in, not know, anyone there, and then you were able to build such a beautiful, relationship and partnership with your executive or the owner, right?
Yeah.
And to carry that outside of the professional realm, and,
Yeah.
bring into some more of that personal aspect to it. So I love that. All right. Well, moving past that here, I want to know a little bit about, your, I would say, your experience and exposure to some systems. Would you mind sharing that with me?
Yeah, so working with real estate and PwC actually has opened up a lot of systems for me. Microsoft Excel, I deal with Google Docs, I deal with Google Calendar. I use that a lot, especially, with the real estate. I use Outlook. I use Word. I use PowerPoint. I also use Adobe and Canva sometimes because, in the real estate realm, I do sometimes help her with like marketing aspect of it. So Canva is really fun to use as well. And yeah, I think those are about it. Microsoft Excel, Adobe, Word, PowerPoint, Google Doc, Google Calendar. Yeah, those.
Yeah, and those are the more general ones, right? I think that some companies have like smaller base systems that we can't always remember, but those are the general ones, and you have an exposure, so definitely a plus.
Teams as
wrap
well.
up-
Sorry, Teams, Microsoft Teams. There's just so many. I
Yeah.
started off with a certain system, and then I ended up with Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office, stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So you can use really any platform. You're adaptable and you can take it and run with it. So that sounds ideal to me. To kind of wrap up the interview here, just two more questions for you. As far as vacation or any time off, do you need any time off in the next 30 days at all?
No. If I were to take off any days, it'd be a Saturday or Sunday, but that's a weekend. So
Yeah.
no.
And we don't work weekends, so that's a bonus. And then my last question, as far as starting a new position, we know that you're currently working. So tell me a little bit as far as starting a new role and how soon you can start it.
Yeah, so she is retiring, so it's kind of more falls on me. I would like to do that 2-week period though, just so it's an easier transition for her. We can finish off anything she needs to finish. But yeah, 2 weeks minimum or maximum, if that, maximum. Yeah.
2 weeks max.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I gotcha. We can absolutely honor that. Of course, you're working, so we don't want to cause any type of, we want you to have a smooth transition, of course, when you depart with them. So it really has been a pleasure chatting with you and getting to know some further details. I want to go ahead and just conclude this interview, but if you don't mind, stay with me in the line. I want to chat with you really quickly.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Thank you.